I am very self-conscious about my appearance. Not really my clothes, but mainly just my body, my build, if you will. I just took a shower, and I don't know if you know this about taking showers, but you kind of got to get naked. Um, and I I don't know. Whenever I was growing up, I was very skinny, very lanky, like very tall, very thin, no meat on my bones, just bones and skin. And it was around, I want to say, either my junior, I think my like junior year, where I actually started putting on weight, both in muscle and in fat, just literally just putting mass on my body. And I mean, I was I'd been made fun of for being kind of lanky, but I never really cared. In my head, I was like, at least I'm not fat. At least I'm not fat as shit. Like that's cool. I win there. You can make fun of me for being skinny, but I'm still winning, right? But I get to junior year, I get a little weight, mainly in my midsection, right? And I didn't think much of it until someone like my ex-girlfriend pointed it out to me, and then she also talked to her friends about me being fat. And then that's where it all really spiraled. I'd always struggled with eating. Either I eat too much, eat too little, eat too fast, eat too much at a certain like I got wait all day and then have a big meal at the end of the day. Very not like the worst relationship with food, but also not the best. But I've always ever since like my junior year of high school, I've always hated kind of the way I look. I've recently been putting on a lot more muscle. My arms, they look a bit better, right? I got mostly upper body muscles. My leg muscles have been kind of good for a while, because I played soccer a lot, did a lot of running, did a lot of kicking. But again, I'm in the shower and I slouch a lot, which makes the problem a lot worse. But it makes my stomach appear a lot wider and long and bigger, right? And I don't like that. And even though I'm still working out, I'm still doing cardio and whatever to kind of minimize this. When I slouch, it really just like when you take an object and you slant it, kind of when you slouch, you slant. Not only are you shorter, which I don't want, but this comes out. Your midsection comes out. So I appear shorter and fatter. And what I have to train myself to do, because when I stand up tall, when I stand up like good posture, right? I'm not fat. Like this is all like this is good, you know? But when I slouch, like I got a little belly. You know what I mean? And I have to teach myself and remind myself to stand tall, puff my chest out, stand like I know like how I should stand really, but stand with purpose to not look fat. Because at the end of the day, again I'm not fat. I'm not fat still. I just have a little bit of fat on my stomach. I got tummy fat. I'm an adult. It happens, right? But when I have to remind myself to just stand tall, stand with confidence, and it just kind of it melds back into my body a little better because I'm not slouching as much. I'm not pushing it out as much. You know. Today I want to talk about perspective. Changing your perspective on something to be able to see either a better outcome, better solution, or just to see a situation better in general. If you're not even trying to find a solution, just to have a more pleasant time looking at something. Whenever I change my perspective, when I'm looking in the mirror and I'm kind of slouching like this, I'm in the mirror and I look at my stomach, I go, oh my God, I'm so fucking fat. I'm so disgusting. I'm so gross. I'm ugly. What? And then I go, hold on, change my perspective, stand a little taller, stand with a little more confidence, and I look, and it's just like I look normal. This is actually like I don't know if you can't. Like this shirt at the top it contours, but like my stomach it doesn't really. But I feel like it just looks. I look better when I stand tall. I look better. I feel better when I stand tall. I change my perspective, and it changes the way I feel about myself. Does that make sense? Changing your perspective on things, not allowing yourself to only look at a situation with the lens of self hatred, like being able to put on a different lens, maybe of like a neutral stance or a positive stance, even being able to just shift your perspective really changes how you view your life in general. It took me a long time to really kind of just be okay with how I look. Because I mean, I was already in a bad spot mentally, and then I'm also growing into an adult. I'm getting into my adult body, kind of, you know. Like my body's not gonna. I wasn't gonna stay skinny and lanky my whole life, Especially because I love fucking eating. I love eating food. I'll say it. I love putting food in my mouth and chewing it, and it's great. It's like just trying to come to terms with just what life is. Instead of viewing the way my body looks through the lens of, man, I used to be so skinny, I used to be so like lean, and the women love the lean look. They would fall, like, you know what I mean, like they loved it. Now I don't look like that. I look disgusting. I look unattractive, when in reality I just look normal. I look like an adult. I look like a person, instead of like a skeleton with a sheet put over him in hair. I didn't allow myself to view my body through the perspective of, man, I like I used to look so good. I don't look good anymore. Oh, I'm so sad about myself. I I changed my perspective. I put more courage into how I look. I put more confidence in how I look. And I feel a lot better. I started dressing better. I started buying clothes that better fit and contour to my body and my style. I just started dressing more in a style I wanted. I started dressing more like how I wanted to dress instead of how my parents wanted me to dress. And I felt a lot better about myself. What I'm trying to say here is that you are going to have moments in life where you feel like you're stuck because of either you hate the way something's happening around you, you hate the way you look, you hate the way something, your immediate response to something is negative. And because of that, it can like inhibit you in some ways. It can make you feel powerless. It can make you feel like you're worthless, because that's easy. I talk a lot about how it's easy to just sit in that mentality of self-hatred, because that's an immediate response and it's easy to stick with. But being able to change your perspective on something, being able to stand tall, stand with confidence, and look at a problem head on, is how you are going to change, is how you are going to solve whatever you're upset about. But the first thing you have to do in order to achieve your level of success within changing is you have to change your perspective. Thank you.